What's up, my friends? It's Coach Jan here at CrossFit Liberate. Today is Tuesday, December 10th, and I've got another at-home workout for you. So this one's called lead foot. So we've got some short work intervals, 4 minutes of work, and then 4 minutes of rest, repeated 3 times. We're pairing some running with a long range of motion movement with our odd object called the devil's press. And with these short work intervals and built-in rest, we're really hoping to keep the intensity at a maximum today, trying to squeeze as much work as possible into that 4 minutes. And then we'll track our total reps of the devil's press only. The run just sort of serves as a buy-in. And you'll track that devil's press score for each AMRAP and then add them all up for a grand total at the end of the workout. All right, let's take a look at our warm-up for lead foot. So here we're gonna start with a 200-meter warm-up jog. Then we'll go into 30 seconds each, starting with active Spider-Man. Then we'll get into a high plank and hit some mountain climbers, bringing those knees all the way up to the elbows. Next will be active Samson stretch. Then we'll go into frog hops, or basically a straight arm burpee. Next will be push-ups to down dog. And finishing things off with slow burpees. For mobility work today, we're gonna hit a child's pose on the odd object, which is a great 2-for-1 stretch, getting the hips open and opening up those shoulders. And then we'll hit an up dog stretch to stretch out that front side of our body. Here, make sure you're actively pressing through the floor, pulling those shoulders down and back. All right, let's take a close look at lead foot. So here we're going 3 rounds. AMRAP 4, so as many rounds and reps as possible in 4 minutes, of a 400-meter run buy-in, and then max odd object devil's press. You'll rest for 4 minutes and repeat 3 times. So this interval style workout today pairs some 400-meter runs as a buy-in with a long range of motion odd object movement. With rest built in and 3 short work intervals, we want to choose variations that allow for very high intensity and maximum work to be performed. You'll track your reps of devil's press only for each AMRAP, and your final score will be the grand total of reps of odd object devil's press. On your run, we're looking for a 2-minute or less effort here. Decrease the distance or choose a substitute in the video description below to meet that time domain and to maintain intensity. With your devil's press, this movement is a combination of a burpee and an odd object ground overhead. The chest should make contact with the object on each rep. Swing the object overhead without pausing at the shoulders. And then choose a moderate weight that allows you to complete around 8 to 10 reps per minute. And then as always, further movement subs and modifications are in the video description below. All right, let's take a close look at our movements here in lead foot, starting with the devil's press. Here we're gonna wanna think about snapping the hips. The devil's press is a challenging movement that requires us to get the object overhead in one fluid motion. This big range of motion will be easier to cover if we're snappy with the hips. Similar to a kettlebell swing, we don't wanna just use the arms to swing the weight overhead. We wanna snap the legs straight by squeezing the quads and glutes to drive the weight to the finish position. The more aggressive the snap, the easier weight will go up. Then with your runs, let's think about a metronome drill. We talk often about striking with our feet underneath our center of mass for efficient running. One of the ways to get to this place is to increase our step cadence. The optimal cadence typically falls between 170 and 180 strides per minute. Any slower than this, and we're more likely to be heel striking in front of the body. Today we can use a metronome to work out the timing of our pulls. We'll use 170 beats per minute for this drill. We'll switch feet every time we hear a beat. We suggest hitting about 30 seconds of a run in place and then immediately transition into an outdoor run to feel this cadence in real time. Click the link in the video description below for a video that contains a 170 beats per minute metronome. All right, so some strategy advice for this one. So if we had to choose a place to really push things for today, it's gonna be on the devil's press. After all, that's the part that's scored here today. So what you may wanna take a look at on the run is, if you were to run 10 seconds faster on the 400 meters, It's not really gonna get you much in terms of devil's press scoring, so you may wanna just pull back on your run pace a little bit, not necessarily slow, but just a little bit, to where you can come in off that run nice and quick still, and then immediately get onto the devil's press and hit 2 or more minutes of straight movement on that devil's press. That's gonna be your best bet towards maximizing your score. All right, y'all, make sure you really have fun with this thing, really get after it. As always with CrossFit, our goal is to bring intensity to our work. That's where the results lie. And then make sure that you're tracking your results, whether it's just in an old-fashioned notebook or an app like SugarWOD. We wanna be tracking progress. That's how we know we're getting fitter. And then if you plan on coming back to the gym, I cannot wait to coach you in real life.